All right, hopefully we'll be all right. All right, we good, we good, we good. Great rise, great rise, great rise in the moonlight's beloved. You know who this is. You know what it is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is Melanated Monday. Y'all come on in. Come on in so we have this grown folks conversation about relationships and sex. Okay, let's just do it. Can we? Come on in. This is a Q&A type of situation here. I hope you all come in with some Q's so I can give you some A's. What's going on, Monk? Thank you, love, for being here. I hope you got some questions, please, because I don't want to be up here talking to myself, but I'm good for it. What we talking about today is relationships and sex. So it's like a Q&A. It's an open conversation. We grown folks, we're going to talk about whatever y'all can ask, whatever. I'm going to give you an answer. It may not be correct. And the answer may be it's none of your business, but it's an answer. Okay. So y'all come on in. Am I up? There might be the light, but I appreciate it. Thank you, love. Appreciate you being here. Yes, y'all come on in, get your questions together. I don't really care what they are. Like I said, you may or may not get the answer that you want, but you will get an answer. Okay. We are talking about relationships and sex. Okay. This the whole gamut. I'm leaving it wide open so you all can come in with your questions. It's going to be a Q&A kind of thing. Of course, I'm going to always touch on something in particular. I got to give you some education on something, right? That's the main reason that I show up here. Let some music play in the background of which I do not own the rights to. So don't nobody be tripping on me and my page. I do not own the rights to any of this music that you may or may not hear in the background. I just want to play some things. Okay. So I'm gonna give you all a minute or two to get in here so we can start this conversation because I want to just chill out for the rest of the evening. As y'all can see, yes, I'm still in transition. Still in transition, so I'm still holding on. Um, but I know it's gonna work out. Okay, I know it's in the midst of working out yet again. I want to start, but I need y'all here. If you have any questions now, go ahead and ask them. If you want to call in and ask your questions, the phone line will be open. That number is 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271 if you want to call in and ask your question or spill some tea, whatever it is. We grown folks here, okay? Just be warned. It can go any kind of way. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Those of you who are here, you hear. Those of you who are not, you'll be here. And if you don't, you won't. Anyway, so I want to talk about relationships, and it always stems from something, right? Whatever conversation I have, it always stems from something. I want to address, and this is like more so for the women. I hear more women that have this issue than men. Not to say that y'all don't. Okay, this is just on the relationship side. A lot of people get into these relationships, these connections, I'll put it that way, these connections, and they're in it for a minute, right? And still don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? The question is, what are we doing? Right? I know y'all know some people like that. You might be one, right? Been there, done that, right? What are we doing? What is this? What am I to you? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And first of all, that should not be. Okay. But I'm going to give you some reasons as to why it is that way. Okay. The first reason, this will be from like experience. I try to talk to y'all as transparently as I possibly can. But a lot of reasons why you don't know what type of relationship you're in is because you may not know what type of relationship you want. Okay. Some people just get into connections just for the sake of not being by themselves. Some people are not very honest with who they are, right? They may not want other people to recognize um, what they might consider their dark side or their demons, or whatever, just things that may not be socially acceptable, to the world. um, so when you're questioning what type of relationship you're in, it's not necessarily about the other people. Yes, they are quite delusional. Yes, sir. It's not always about what the other person is doing, has done, is about whatever. A lot of times it's about you. You need to have an over and understanding, true over and understanding and acceptance of who you are all the way around. Because sometimes you can say that you want to be in a certain type of relationship, or in a relationship period. You want to do some, do particular things or whatever, and it's only because that's what you've been raised with, that's what you think the other person wants, that's what is acceptable, whatever the case is. But that's not you. You know what I'm saying? Do you? Don't You can't concern yourself, first of all, on what society may or may not say about who you are. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Society cannot dictate who you are. Society cannot dictate what makes you happy, what's true to you, what's real to you. Be real to yourself. Be honest with yourself. If the person that you have an interest in is not on board with who you are, it's okay. It doesn't mean that y'all have to be together in that way. Y'all can still be cool, right? You can still kick it or whatever, hang out if you choose. But it doesn't have to be that that is your intimate mate. It doesn't have to be. So while you asking what is this, you need to figure out, what are you? First of all, what are you? Who are you? What is it that you truly want? And not only what do you truly want, but what are you prepared for? What are you prepared for? Because that's another issue, right? You may want to be in a relationship, you may want to be cuddled up with somebody, all day long, whatever it is, you may desire that, but you may not be ready for that. Relationships, as I have said before, and I would speak specifically about marriage, but it's a business. There's a commitment in it. There has to be communication. It has to be honesty on both ends. If you are not ready to be in a relationship, an intimate relationship, a business relationship, whatever type of relationship it is, please don't try to fool yourself into believing that you are. Because what happens is, while you go into these relationships in a lie, the lie builds. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where now you have gained, and you have gained resentment toward the other individual, because you are trying to be what they want you to be, or what you think they want you to be, instead of just being who you are. I've had this conversation before many times, and I've told people, I'm not trying to change you. I just want to know you. Let me know who you are. And see, this is a thing too. And this is, I'll say this on both, but a lot of males have this issue of not wanting to disclose their true selves, because there's an intention, if I do that, that I'm gonna miss out on something. Or if I tell her the truth, she gonna run away, or she gonna judge me, or blah, 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 blah. And women do the same thing, right? Can't take that away. Women do the same thing. But here's the thing. What you don't disclose up front, it comes out anyway. It comes out once you have invested time, once you have invested emotions, once you have invested energy, once you've done all of these things, time has gone by. So the thing that, or things that you did not say or do up front before all of these other things were involved, now they're bigger, because they weren't talked about and handled and been honest with from the beginning. Be honest about it. A lot of, and this is about men now. A lot of men, and I've heard it so many times. A lot of men will not tell the truth in the beginning about what they really want from the woman out of fear that they won't even get the opportunity to get it. Right? I told you all before a couple times about the gentleman at the rink that very blatantly told me what he wanted with me, blatantly. Okay, we had not had a previous conversation. We never talked other than, how you doing, that kind of thing on the floor. Kept it moving. And one day he decided to tell me that he and I need to hang out. We need to kick it. And I'm just like, well, why? Why is that something that we need to do? Because I've been good without it. So why do we need to do this? And he says, we will have fun. Well, I'm having fun, hence me being at the rink. I'm having fun. So, I don't need to hang out with you for that reason. So then he goes on to ask me, well, do you want me to be honest or do you want me to lie? So at that point, I was already clear as to what this was about to be. So he outright says, and I'm gonna keep it clean. He says, I want to F you. I want to F the shit out of you. Okay. Not just F you. I want to F the shit out of you. So my response was laughter. It wasn't funny, but it was funny to me. Okay. He looked at me like I'm dead ass. Like I'm serious. And I knew he was. And it wasn't the fact that I thought he was joking. I laughed because he was honest about it. He was honest. He said it. The worst case scenario which he received was that I would say no. Okay? That's the worst case scenario, but he put it out there. Wasn't no time wasted, wasn't no games played. He said, this is what I want. I appreciate your honesty, sir. I'm gonna have to decline. But I appreciate your honesty, right? Some of y'all, a lot of y'all refuse to be honest like that out of fear that you're gonna either get the shit slapped out you or you just gonna get rejected. But what you don't understand is a lot of times women, like I said, appreciate the truth up front. And y'all will say we don't, but I'm gonna tell you why we do. Women appreciate the truth up front. And because you give the truth up front, you actually have a greater percentage, a greater opportunity of receiving what you want because she knows up front that's what you want, because she respects that you were honest about it. There's nothing being hidden. She has full disclosure as to what your intent is. She can make a decision right then and there based on the facts, based on the information that you have disclosed up front, whether or not she's going to entertain your offer. But there's a respect level there, right? So because she has already gained respect for you, I'm giving you a little game, because she has already gained some respect for you, that automatically put her a little bit closer to you because she respects you. That's first and foremost. If a woman don't respect you, you can forget it. Okay? Ain't nothing else coming. If she don't respect you, you got nothing else coming. Nothing. So to address those men who would say women don't like the truth, women don't want the truth, women can't stand the truth, they can't take it. Here's the thing with that. Where that becomes true, women can't take the truth, is because most women don't hear the truth. It's a phenomenon. It's something that doesn't happen on a regular basis. We're used to being lied to. We're expecting the lie, right? So when you come with the truth, it's, well, what the hell was that? Well, wait a minute. Of course, there's a shock factor because we're not used to hearing it, right? But if you make the truth the normal, make giving the truth, providing the truth from the jump the normal, then there would be no issue or no thought of you all saying that we can't handle it. We can handle it when that is what's given up front. But unfortunately, what is given up front 90% of the time is lies and deceit and bullshit. Therefore, when you finally give the truth after long periods of time in lying and being deceitful, when you finally give the truth, now she can't accept it. Now the truth is bullshit to her, or it no longer matters. Or now she's pissed off because you've wasted her time when you could have given her the truth a long time ago. Okay. So it's not that she can't take the truth, is that you've handed her so many lies for so long that there's now no more room. There's no more room in her hand to hold the truth because of all the lies and the bullshit. Okay. So stop digging and throwing out the bullshit if you want us to accept the truth. We need the truth. Men need the truth. Women need the truth. But we're so busy playing with people's emotions, playing with their feelings, having these wicked intentions or these selfish intentions that we don't bother to concern ourselves with the other person and how they're processing. What information are they getting? How am I actually presenting myself to this individual? Because you can only lie for so long until it becomes the truth. And men, again, here's game for you. Please be take this into consideration. Women have this gift, this inner thing called intuition. Amo need you to pay attention to that and respect the fact that what she feels internally, what she knows internally, she knows. Another part here for you in dealing with that, when a woman asks you a question more than one time, brother, she already knows the answer. Okay? When a woman asks you a question more than once, she already knows the answer. She's trying to give you the benefit of the doubt of correcting your first lie so you don't keep doing it. She's trying to give you the opportunity to come correct, to be real, to be honest, to be free. Yes, being honest, telling the truth will set you free. Absolutely. She's trying to give you the opportunity to just be real. And with her giving you the opportunity, there's still a level of respect at that time. What some of y'all tend to do is run all over that. You take it for granted. You want to see how long you can hold out. You want to see how much longer you can play with it. And then when she gets to the point of saying, I'm done playing with your ass, there's no more of this, then you want to see her as being a bitch. You want to see her as not being fair. You want to see her as she must be cheating. She must be dealing with somebody else. No, no, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And y'all know I'm not bashing. Y'all know I'm not bashing y'all because I'm giving you the truth. You know, I deal with y'all males, I deal with females. I'm very fair. I'm very honest and I'm very transparent, right? So y'all can never come back and say I'm a man basher. Never. Okay. But I'm tired of the bullshit between us, men and women, particularly us melanated people. I'm tired of the bullshit between us because we are the only people who play these types of games in relationships. This goes back to how we were taught this whole Willie lynching, okay? The whole Willie Lynch process, it still continues. We have learned to play games with one another. Generation through generation through generation, we have learned to play emotional games with each other, which is why our rate of healthy relationships is pretty low. Healthy. I don't mean y'all been together for 15 years and y'all ain't but 16 years old. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about the length of time that you're together. I'm talking about the quality in the time that you're together, the healthiness of your togetherness, the growth in your togetherness, if there is any. Because if neither of you, or if only one of you is growing, something's not happening. That means somebody is not giving into the other. Somebody is not being fed. There is no equal reciprocity in that relationship, which means it's going to die. As a relationship counselor, I am sick of it. I'm sick of dealing with it on my own for my own personal self, because I've been, I won't even say a victim, but I've been played. I've been played. I've been hurt. I have been disrespected, if you will. All of these things that everybody else has had, cheated on, put in third party situations unknowingly, whatever. Been there, been there. That shit hurts. It does. But this is me being transparent, because people think, because I give advice that, I'm just so perfect, or as far as relationships go. No, no, no. Nah. Mm-mm. Sometimes I got to ask somebody else the same thing I tell y'all. Did I hear that right? I know I said that. Let me play back what I said so I can hear it for myself. But yeah, these are some of the things that we have to just be paying attention to, right? We also have to be concerned with spiritual bonds. Okay, now this goes in a couple of different ways, and when I'm not talking about the spiritual bond in sex, I'm just talking about the relationships. So there are things, well, things, but you all have probably heard the term soulmate. Okay. And a lot of times when people use the term soulmate, they are referring to the person whom they're with, or who they think they're supposed to be with, as their one. This is my one. This is my husband. This is my wife. This is my life partner, whatever. Soulmate doesn't necessarily mean that, because we are soul beings. We're going to have soulmates, plural. There are going to be many soul mates, because we have a soul tribe. So there are many. A soul mate is simply somebody that you are spiritually connected to. You may have an assignment with that individual. You may be connected with them for a certain purpose, whatever. But in the midst of that connection, you may have developed a a high liking for, or an attraction toward, a loving toward, whatever the case may be. And it's understood because there is a draw there. There is a spiritual connection there. It does not, however, mean that that individual is the one that is chosen for you to be your life partner. You understand? They're not necessarily your husband or wife. They could be, but it's not necessarily so. Okay. Soulmates are not always intimate partners. Soulmates can be your friends, because y'all are just so close. Or you ever had a experience where you met somebody just the first time around, and you feel like you've known them, like you've known them, you just bond all of a sudden? That's a soulmate. You don't know their name, you've never seen them before, but something about that individual has drawn you to them. And it's not sexual, nothing like that. It's something about them. You just got to be around it, whatever. That's a soulmate. That's just one of many. We have many. So don't trick yourself into believing that every soulmate is your one. Okay? Because that's not necessarily the truth. All right? The next thing I'd like to speak upon is emotions. Those feelings versus facts. Now, y'all, okay, y'all already know how I am about feelings, right? The whole fuck your feelings. And I'm going to explain that again, because it has been misunderstood as to the meaning of that. When I say fuck your feelings, it does not mean don't have emotions or disregard the emotions of other people. It doesn't mean that. It simply means do not allow how you feel about an individual to distract you from the facts about that individual or that situation, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be about a person. It can be about a situation, a thing, whatever. Don't allow how you feel about it to distract you from the facts about it. Okay. A lot of times we will get connected with people and we love them. Like we have a real strong liking to them, whatever it is. And it seems like it's unbreakable. Like we want to be with them forever and all the time. And I dream about you and my body is craving you and all of these things or whatever. And you notice that there are some things about this individual you just can't get with, or they have some major issues, be it emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever it is. It's something we call them red flags. Okay. But there's something about this individual or situation or thing, whatever, that is saying, um, yeah, this is probably not what you want to involve yourself with on that level. It's okay to do this, like you can be minimally here and do this, but you don't want to do this right here because these are facts, right? Are against what you desire, against what you believe, whatever, against what you want, whatever it is, these facts, right? But what we'll do is, but I love him or her. So I'm going to disregard the fact that they ain't no good for me, that they don't even like me for real, that they got 99 wives or husbands, that they don't even like the same sex that I am, that they don't spend no time with me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the facts are, we will ignore that because we feel some type of way toward the individual. Right. Respect is key. What's going on, Phoenix? Thanks for being here, loved one. We will ignore the facts and then wonder why the relationship is not working because it was not built upon facts. It was built upon feelings and fiction. Okay. The fiction. You wrote that story based on your feelings. So there's no facts in it. It's fiction. You made that shit up. Okay. The facts have presented themselves, period. You have disregarded them and used your feelings to rewrite the story. It doesn't change the facts, ladies and gentlemen. The facts still remain what they are. If you don't acknowledge the information that's given the way that it's given, you will find yourself on the wrong end, the bad end, the fucked up end of this relationship because there's really no relationship, because there's no foundation, there's no truth. You have not allowed yourself to accept the facts, the information, to be the foundation of whatever type of relationship you're in or that you're seeking. You created your story based off of what you wanted your story to look like. And what you do, or what we do, let me self included, what we do is we will take the individual that we want, that we're attracted to, that we have feelings for, we will take that individual and place them into our story that we created, right? We got the facts. We have, and they're part of the facts, right? We have taken them away from the facts and dropped them into the story that we wrote that is based on feelings. So it is a fiction story. It's fiction. It's made up. It's not real. In case you're not certain upon what fiction is, it's not real. Okay. We take them and put them into our story. And then we want to see a happily ever after. We want to see, what we think we can manifest with that. uh no, it doesn't, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't take the facts and put them into your fiction and create something else, a nonfiction or a reality. They don't work. Sorry. Sorry. The facts are the facts and they stay the facts. They stay information. They do not change. How you perceive the facts or how you choose to perceive the facts will ultimately determine your mental state, your mental state in the relationship that you think you're in. Because trust me, you are at that point the only one in the relationship. It's just you because it's the story that you wrote. You put them in it. They didn't voluntarily come over there. They didn't ask, can I be a part of your story? Because had they wanted to be a part of your story, then y'all would have created that story together, right? You ain't got to go get nobody and bring them over. We don't do that. What's going on, T Harv? Thank you, loved one. Appreciate you. That's not how things work. Okay, they don't work healthily that way. You can do it, but you're going to keep repeating cycles until you learn deal with the facts as the facts present themselves. We have this thing of not wanting to let go of our feelings toward this individual or these individuals or situations, whatever. We don't want to let go of it because we want something to hold on to. Hold on to the facts. Okay? Hold on to the information. Hold on to yourself. Hold on to the truth. Okay? Hold on to what really is. Hold on to something that is solid and non changing. What could that be? Who could that be? Let's do that. Okay, moving on. Also, um, sometimes the relationships that we get in, and it doesn't matter what type of relationship, but sometimes we get into these relationships that are only there to teach you a lesson. Sorry. I know y'all hate that. I hate it too because I've learned so many lessons. I've been put through so many lessons. I'm tired. Like I just want to drop out of school sometimes. But yeah, you're putting them to learn a lesson. And the reason that you keep being put in these types of situations, like you ask, I've been doing this for 99 years. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? It will stop when you have learned the lesson. Just like any school, any grade level, you pass when you have done at least the bare minimum to not have to repeat that subject. You at least get a D minus, right? A D minus will cause you to pass. You won't have to repeat it, right? You may not have learned the most, but you won't have to repeat it, right? It's the same thing in the relationships. If you don't learn the lessons that you get in or from the relationships that you are in, you are bound to repeat them over and over and over again. And part of learning the lesson is to look at yourself as the student. What am I learning? Am I learning? Have I shown up for class with the intent to learn, or have I shown up with the intent to just be seen in the room? Because we can take attendance, call your name, you're there, but you haven't participated. So if you haven't participated, that means you haven't done any of the work, and you're not going to be graded because you haven't done any of the work, which means you're going to have to come on back in here for another round and do some work. And you're going to keep doing it until you learned the lesson. So if you don't like what you keep getting yourself involved with, learn the damn lesson. Okay? Learn the lesson. And sometimes learning lessons means you have to be by your damn self. You'll have to be alone. And it's okay. Be alone. Learn yourself. Be honest with yourself. It's okay. You're going to have moments where you feel lonely. You're going to have moments where you feel hurt and angry and disappointed and all of these different types of emotions. That's fine. That's part of the process. You're going to do that. It's like in school, you're going to take tests. You're going to fail some tests. You're going to have to retake the test. You're going to have to keep going to a class that you can't stand. You're going to have to keep seeing teachers and classmates that you really don't like. But eventually, you won't. You'll pass and you'll move on. You'll have a different teacher, you'll have different classmates, you'll have a whole new different lesson. You will have elevated in what you've learned. Learn yourself so you don't have to have other people continuously being used to teach you a lesson about yourself, because that is what it is. It's learn the lesson about you. You'll learn something about other people, but the lesson is about you. Okay? Learn the you lesson. Um, every relationship brings about some type of lesson. Another thing that I want to discuss with you is um, knowing when the person or people or thing that is in your life, knowing whether or not, or knowing why they're there. You ever ask yourself the question or ask the person, why are you in my life? I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out your purpose with me, or I'm trying to figure out my purpose with you. It's got to be something. Um, we feel some type of way toward each other, but for whatever reason, we just can't get it right. Is this something that is preventing us from really connecting a certain type of way, or being able to have a healthy relationship? Just some just ain't right. Okay, what is the meaning of you? What is the meaning of me with you? And vice versa. What is the meaning? Sometimes we are connected with people that we are attracted to, but they're not for us to be intimate with. Again, we talk again about the soulmate. It's not for us to be in that type of relationship with, but it's to realize that they or you may be an assignment. What you say? The individual might be an assignment. You might be an assignment for someone else. A lot of relationships get destroyed because it's not overstood that the type of relationship you were in was strictly for a purpose. And once the purpose is fulfilled, then you move on, or you're moved away from that individual. Energy changes, whatever the case is. God's got a purpose for that individual or for you. And once that assignment has been completed, it is time to go. Some of us want to hang on to the assignment. Now, we ain't never done that in school. Never have we. Teacher, would you please give us some more work? I just want to keep holding on to the assignment. I know we already have 500 words to write, or a 500-page essay we had to write, but I would love to just hold on to this just a little while longer and do yet another 500 or so. We ain't never done that, right? Nobody's ever done that. Ask the teacher to extend an assignment. Never. We're ready to get the assignment, get in, do it, get out, right? While you're doing the assignment, you're learning something in the assignment, and the person to whom you are assigned is also learning something, and their purpose is being fulfilled, right? So if somebody assign, oh, let me stop. When the Most High assigns somebody to you have to pay attention, right? Because sometimes it's difficult to know, is this my lover? Or is this my assignment? Right. Okay. So when the Most High assigns an individual to you, you have a particular calling and a responsibility to make sure that that individual gets what they were assigned to you for, right? You have a responsibility to make sure the individual that is assigned to you gets what they were assigned to you for. Hence, fuck your feelings, pay attention to the facts, right? Is doing this that will reveal what the assignment is. Paying attention to the facts will reveal what the assignment is. Now, everybody is not an assignment, okay? It's not a uh, for the lack of a better way of saying, a hit and quit type of thing. It's not always that. Okay, an assignment can be a lifelong assignment. An assignment can be a day assignment, a week, an hour, whatever. A moment. It doesn't matter, as long as that individual gets what they need. But what we will do as human is allow our feelings again to block the purpose of why we are connected with the individual in the first place. And then we're sitting over here crying and in whatever because he or she played me, they left me, they did blah blah blah. Yeah, because that ain't what they were there for. See, you done got yourself all emotionally invested in some work. You were supposed to be the teacher. You were supposed to be teaching your students something, not falling in love with them. I'm sorry. This is real to myself as well. Okay. Now we can't help. Now I'll say, let's be honest. We can't help how we feel about an individual that we have developed some different types of emotions. I get that, but pay attention to the facts. The facts are what matter here. It's okay if you love them and all. It's okay. You can continue to love them, but love them enough to make sure that they get what they were assigned to you for. Love them enough for that. And if that means they get it and then they gone in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years, whatever it is, let it be. Because then if that individual, that same individual may be assigned to you at a later time in a whole different capacity. They may. You never know. But you'll never know if you stay in your feelings, right? People have been assigned to you for spiritual reasons, for professional reasons, some even for physical reasons, whatever. They're assigned you for a purpose. And feelings cheat people out of their purposes. Feelings cheat people out of their purpose. I love you so much. I'm gonna just hold on to you and I'm gonna just smother you to almost death because I don't want you to go away from me because I feel. However, they can't breathe, they can't feel shit because you have smothered them to almost death. So not only are they um not getting what they need to get from you. One, they can't even give you what they may be assigned to give to you because you and your feelings smothering them to almost death. It's a lose lose situation. I understand, overstand, and understand feelings. I get it. But again, they cannot be the qualifying factor in your relationships. Have them. Love, like, admire, appreciate, respect, honor. All do all of those things, but pay attention to the facts. The facts will determine the whole direction of the relationship. Is when you refuse to acknowledge them, that the relationship go all over the place. There is no structure because it's built on nothing. You ever try to build a house on a lake? Literally try to build a house on water, not near it, on it. I dare you. That's what emotions are. Water. Emotions move. Emotions, energy in motion. It's movement. You cannot build a solid foundation on something that is constantly moving. Feelings change all the time based on circumstances, all the time. You can't build upon something that has no solid foundation. Therefore, it is important that you face the facts, that you build upon the facts of the matter. Fuck your feelings. And I say that with the utmost respect and love for my people. Y'all know what I mean, right? Y'all know what it is. This is not me telling anybody, like I said, don't care. It's the complete opposite. Care enough to be honest, care enough to listen to, process, and live with the facts, with the information, period. Okay. Um, moving on. Um, let me say this too. It when you're realizing what your assignment is, like how do you realize when what you want doesn't balance out with what you have? When what you want doesn't balance with what you have. So if you want peace and solitude and love and playfulness and blah blah blah, but what you have is chaos and lying and deceitfulness, that ain't it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Also, a lot of times we tend to settle, men and women. We have this awful thing of settling because we have a desire or need, we think, to be with someone, to hold on to something, to roll over to someone. I just want to hold somebody at night. I just need to kiss somebody in the morning and blah blah blah. Whatever your reasons are, so we tend to settle for something. We settle for what we want versus standing for what we deserve. So if what I want is a person who is around, how about that? If you settle for a person that I'm sorry, if what you want is somebody that can give you emotional stability, that can give you financial stability, that can braid your hair in the morning, that will comb your beard, and whatever it is. If this is what you want, but that's not what you're with, you settle for what you're with. What's that saying? If you can't love the one you want, then love the one you with, something like that. Don't do that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop settling. You can have what you desire if you are prepared to put in the work on self so that you are in a position to receive what you desire. You have to be in the position to receive what it is that you want. I've had this conversation with one of my sister girls, actually, a couple of my sister girls, about, and I made a video about it, matter of fact, about wanting to have a husband. Even some men who want to have wives. I want to have a wife. I want to settle down. I want to have a happy family. I want, whatever these things are. But you're connected to something completely opposite of what you desire. You're connected to, you want a man that's going to be loyal and faithful to you and protective of you and loving of you and all of these things that will fight for you. You want this, but you're connected to a dude that's a hoe, or he just out here and I ain't gonna call him a hoe, okay? But he out here in the world. He ain't thinking about you. He's not protecting you. He can't give you nothing, can't and or won't, whatever the case is. It's the complete opposite of what you're speaking out your mouth. But then you're saying, I want a husband. Well, tell me how is your husband gonna get there? Because what he's not gonna do is play Captain Save a Hoe, right? If you are looking for a particular type of man, you want a particular type of man to be your husband or a particular type of woman to be your wife, they're not coming to save you from what you have put yourself with. It ain't come get me, come rescue me. No, because ain't nobody looking for that, right? What you want is not looking for something that you trying to get out of. They're not coming to get you out your drama because they don't want drama. And if they come to you while you're in drama to take you away from drama, they're not what you want in the first place, because you want somebody that's going to respect you, respect your relationship, blah, 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 blah. This individual already said, I don't respect the relationship that you're in, so I'm going to come get you and take you out of it. D- are y'all listening? Do you hear what I'm saying? You want somebody that's going to be loyal to you, that's going to fight for you, that's going to be there for you. That means that individual can't come and get you out of something that you already in that goes completely against what it is you say you want. I want a loyal man, but I'm looking for somebody to come get me out of the relationship that I'm in. Huh? That's how that sounds. You want somebody to be loyal to you, but you want him to come get you out of the relationship that you're in currently. How that work? That don't work. And that's for men and women. You got to think about everything. Be honest. Most of our relationships, and I'm saying us as melanated people, most of our relationships are built on lies. Lies, lies, lies. For what? There's no reason for us to be lying to each other. We are such a powerful people, and I've said it so many times. We are such a powerful people. And when we unite as man and woman, male, female, masculine, feminine, when we unite that way, in a spiritual way, and I'm not saying religious, in a spiritual way, in a universal way, in a balanced way, man, when I tell you the nations are afraid of that, they are afraid of the power of the unity of a melanated family. There is a power in it. They're afraid of it, and they should be. They should be. So stop settling. This is what I'm saying. Stop settling. If you're with somebody or you want to be with somebody, they've got most of the attributes that you like, but is there some things you just can't get with? Don't try to force it. And that goes on both ends. If it's something about you, let's just say this. If you are wanting to be with somebody, you really want to be with this individual, but it's going to cause you to completely change who you are. So you decide you want to change for them, or you want to change because of them, whatever, for them, because you want them to be happy. I advise against that. Why? Because if you don't change because you want to change, because you recognize that changing for yourself will cause you to be happy, will cause you to get what it is that you want and deserve. If you change only because of or for somebody else, eventually you will grow to resent them. And then it will cause you to revert back to what and who you were already. You're going to go backwards. Don't do that. Be who you are. Somebody will appreciate, love, honor, and respect you for who you are if you are honest about who you are. You don't have to change who you are for somebody else. Again, if you decide you want to do this because the individual that you want to be with or that you're with is deserving of your change, you want to be happy, you want to be happy. So you're going to change for yourself. Then do that. But don't do it for the sole purpose of, I want you to be happy. So I'm going to try to change myself for you. Because what happens when you no longer want to keep working at that change? What happens? You revert back. And now you got a bigger problem. It's a bigger issue. Don't do it. Be who you are. Work at bettering yourself for yourself. Work at bettering who you are because you deserve a better you, because you want to fulfill a spiritual, a bigger purpose. Period. Do it for that reason. You say built on unhealed traumas as well. Yes, ma'am. Men and women need to heal before getting into relationships with anyone. If they are unhealed, they will bring those issues into the relationship. And honey, that was my next topic. So yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Yes, indeed. Let me tell you something about healing. And we've talked about this many times. Some people do not understand, or they do not believe in the process of healing, the whole this is what you got to do first type of thing. and they just go from one relationship to another, to another, to another, or multiple at the same time, whatever. If you have experienced trauma, emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever trauma, and you have not properly healed enough that you can be healthy to another person, that you can be healthy to yourself, that you can make healthy decisions in a relationship, if you don't do that healing, you will cause your trauma to roll off onto and into the person you're with. Heal thyself before you get into a relationship. But this is what we do: we get into relationships, or we look for relationships that we think will heal us, that we think will fix us. We look for people to fix us. I'm hurting, I'm injured. Can somebody come do something for me? Can somebody heal me? Can somebody fix me? Sadly, it doesn't work like that. It does not. And I'm guilty of this, right? Because I have this mind of, I want to fix everybody. I want to heal everybody. I come on here to give you the information. I'm going to do that because that's what I'm supposed to do. But I had to realize I can't fix anybody but myself. I can give advice, I can give tools, I can give instruction, but I can't give you you. You have to learn how to rebuild you. You have to rebuild you. I think Marvin Baldwin Jr. has a book that deals with building you. I think that's what it's even called. But yeah, you have to build yourself on a solid foundation before you enter into a relationship with anybody. You cannot make a toxic relationship healthy. It doesn't work. A toxic relationship will be toxic until the person or people who are toxic are detoxed. You must be detoxed. Does that mean that everything in your life has to be perfect, that you are 100% healed from everything? It does not, because there isn't any. I don't think that's realistic for 100% healed, but you have to be enough healed that trauma is not seeping in where it's going to cause an issue for somebody else. Let's be honest. We all have suffered in some type of way some kind of trauma: emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, whatever. We have all had some type of trauma. But what we have to do is take the time out for ourselves, by ourselves, to heal ourselves. This is when you go into meditation, when you go into prayer, when you fall down on your face, and I don't mean accidentally. You not tripped down it. You have placed yourself on your knees prostrate, and you have called upon a being higher than yourself to help you heal. It's work in healing. You can't just say, I'm gonna be healed today and be done with it. No, there's a process. There are certain things that have to be done in order for the process to even begin. And acknowledging the trauma, acknowledging that an injury or injuries has occurred is the first one. A lot of times what we'll do is try to push back the trauma. We want to push it so far back and suppress it and act like it never happened. We want to pretend that we never went through these things. We want to pretend that somebody never did what they did to us. We want, what I'm saying? It happened. You have to acknowledge it, but you also have to acknowledge that when it happened to you. It didn't happen because of you. It happened to you. So in the midst of that, you have to take the guilt off of yourself, because a lot of times people will hold on to the guilt and think that it was because of them that they experienced the trauma. It's not because of you that you experienced the trauma. The trauma happened to you. You didn't go looking for trauma and say, here I am, come get me, or I'm going to go jump into some trauma. It was put upon you. You have to forgive yourself. You have to take the guilt off of yourself, but acknowledge that it happened. You have to talk about it. Get counseling. Talk about it. You cannot keep the thoughts in your head. You cannot process things in your head. It doesn't work there. If you keep it in your head, you're making room and allowing the adversary to put more thought in there. We're going to make another story. We're going to use some more fiction, and we're going to bring in some more characters to create another story in your fiction, because we're going to erase all of these facts here. We're going to make up something else because we want you to feel good right now. And we know your feelings are not going to last long. This story is going to have to be updated and rearranged some type of way. But for now, this is what we do. This, no, we're not. We're not doing that. And if you've been doing it, stop doing it. Stop doing it. You got to talk to somebody, and make sure when you're talking to somebody that you're talking to the right somebody, because you can talk and be telling all your business to the wrong one. You can be talking and telling your business to somebody who has caused the trauma, or somebody who is trauma causing. Okay. So you got to be careful with that. You got to be discerning, right? You got to be discerning with that. You got to pray upon that. You got to pay attention. Sometimes the person you're supposed to talk to is that soulmate that you keep trying to hook up with. It might not be for you to hook up with them. At least not now. It might not be for that. It could very well just be, I need to get this off me. I need to start my healing process. And I think that's why you're in my life. It's for me to start my healing process. It's like that. But you got to talk to somebody. You got to get some professional help. Get some help for it. And then you got to hold yourself accountable for how are you moving forward, or how are you holding on to the trauma. Sometimes people choose to hold on to their trauma because for them it's safe. As long as I hold on to the trauma in this space, trauma can never happen again in this space. So I'm going to hold on to it, which means everywhere you go, it's going right with you. Every move you make, the trauma going right with you. Every relationship you get in, the trauma going right with you, because you holding on to it like your Linus blanket. It's not safe. You think it is because you're used to it, because you're holding on tight, because you need something to hold on to that's yours, something that's not going to be taken away from you. So you're holding on to the same thing that's hurting you. It's like you're holding on to a sword. You have got tight grips on a sword that's cutting your ass, but you're not going to let go of it because you need something to hold on to. Even though you're bleeding from every finger, you're bleeding. Everything is bleeding. You bleeding out, but you holding on to something because you can claim it to be yours. Is it worth holding on to if it's killing you? Literally, it's causing you more harm than good. Let it go. Let it go. And then you can look at the wound that you have, the injuries that you have, look at them and see how you can start to mend them. Do you need a band-aid, or do you need stitches, or do you need to just take that whole thing off and get an artificial one for the moment and get used to using it? Something. Now that was a bit extreme, but I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying. Figure out how to heal the wounds that are there. Stop holding on to what caused the wound. Let it go. That's a decision you have to make, is to let it go. Are there some things that are not as easy to let go of? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not unrational or irrational where I'm saying that you can just let go of everything. Just say F it and ta-da is all good. Some things take longer. Some things you may never fully heal from, but you'll learn to be healthy enough to cope with. I'll put it that way. You may not 100% get over it, but you'll find a way to cope with it in a healthy manner. Stop holding on to your trauma. That's all I'm saying. It's time for us to heal. It's time for us to heal. It is time for us to heal. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns that you would like to call in for, please do so. 770 906 5271. 770 906 5271. I want to respond to those people who have shown up and said something. I know I've just been talking. I didn't say hello to too many people. T Harb, I see you. I've talked to you. I appreciate you. And Phoenix, I appreciate you all for being here. Kenyon Lee, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for showing up. Marvin, always appreciate you. And Stephanie, you know, girl, appreciate you. Say, hi, love. So glad I caught your love. I'm glad you did too. I know it's far and in between, but I'm glad you made it as well, honey. Anthony, what's going on, love? When I saw you when you came in, Big Tommy, what's going on? He said, flat out, real talk, but it's tough. It is. I know it is. Pimping, I saw you when you came in. Thank you, love, for being here. And my sister girl, DJ, what's going on, love? I appreciate you all for showing up. Atai Slime, what's going on, love? I appreciate you for being here as well. Stacy, well, you was the first one in here, so you know I already talked to you. I think I got everybody so far. Coco, I see you, love. Thank you, sis, for being here. I appreciate you. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything you would like to share, anything you want me to go over, let's talk about it. I didn't realize I was going to talk so long about the relationships. I didn't get to the sex part. So I don't know. Do y'all want to have a sex conversation tonight, or shall we wait? We could. Y'all tell me if y'all want to have. Maybe we'll wait. We won't go so deep into the sex part, but because I didn't think I was going to be this long in the relationship part. But I mean, but we can. You know, if y'all want to, but that's going to be more of some questions. That's some Q&A. Okay. I'm not just going to be talking about it. All right. That's some Q&A. So if y'all don't have no Q's about it, I ain't got no A's. Okay. So we can let that part go off to another conversation. But I hope that this thus far has been informative to you, that you have learned something, that it has allowed you to regain some power, some reposition yourselves accordingly. Think about some things a little more deeply, if you will. Reconsider, change your thought, whatever is going to benefit you. I hope it has done that, and will continue to do. Will continue to do so. I'm always here. If y'all need me, I'm here. I'm here. Okay. If there are no questions, no comments, no further comments, no concerns, you think, oh, equally yoked. It's an extremely good lesson being taught. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Uh, okay. Well, then I think I'm gonna exit. So if y'all want to talk about sex tonight, we'll do it later. I think I want to do it later because we'll do it later. Okay, we'll do it later because y'all ain't asking no questions. I want the questions. Let's get into the questions. But we'll do that another time. So I'm gonna let y'all go so I can get myself ready to unwind and prepare myself for tomorrow. But y'all know what it is. I love you on purpose, with purpose, for sure. All right. And so I'll see you next time. Peace. Peace.